Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the icy, treacherous waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Jason Phelps, and I am joined, as ever, by Robbie, Dragonmeet Bellekom, Sam, Dragonmeet Burgers, Chloe, Dragon Feet, Mashiter, Chris, Dragon's Teat.
I will take it.
And Ellie, Dragon Beat Sparrow.
Dragon Teat was much worse. Usually I get the short end, but I think
I am a proud Dragon Teat. I will take
Dragon
it.
Teat.
So,
Not a reptile, as Robbie pointed out.
Dragon moves.
So in case you didn't guess from this, we are recording at Dragonmeet.
You were very subtle about it.
Yes. In case you're wondering, so if this sounds a little different to our usual audio, that's why. We're in
Also,
a very
there might be crowds of people.
There may be crowds of people come by at random intervals.
There's so many sailors on the ship, it's fine.
So much of this is not going to take place on the ship.
No. Everything's fine.
To begin with, as standard for our guest one shots. By the way, this does take place in the regular continuity. So this comes immediately after episode 1, just before 81, just before. That's a long time ago. Episode 81, just before episode 82. Going to go around the table. Player name, player pronouns, character pronouns. I will start as me. So, Jason Phelps, he, him, literally everyone except the player characters. So, mutable pronouns.
Robbie, she, they. Scamp, they.
Chloe, she, her.
Secrets,
she, her.
Sam, he, him, and Corzin, also he, him.
Chris, he, they, and they, them.
Ellie, she, her. Celestia, she, her.
Excellent. Okay, so as I just make a note of your character's pronouns, because I didn't actually write those down originally, so I've got them down.
It happens so often.
Yes. Okay, so just a wee bit that's prepared. Firstly, this one shot that we're doing has been adapted from the recently published campaign Tyranny of Dragons from Kobold Press and Wizards of the Coast, a combination of 2 adventures, Hoard of the Dragon Queen and The Rise of Tiamat. In an audacious bid for power, the Cult of the Dragon leads the charge in an unholy campaign to bring Tiamat back to Faerun. Alongside their dragon allies and the Red Wizards of Thay, they sweep from town to town, laying waste to all of those who oppose them and gathering a hoard of riches for their dread queen. You can get the campaign guide online from Wizards of the Coast by going to dnd.wizards.com or by purchasing it from your local game shop. So this particular adventure is not set in the Forgotten Realms of Faerun, nor do we have the 6 to 8 hours needed to do the whole of the chapter it's been taken from Justice. So we've adapted the adventure down to hopefully an hour and a half in length and tweaked it to take place in our regular setting of Calcinea. So this adventure takes place as part of the regular continuity, as I mentioned before, Flintlocks and Fireballs, just after episode 81 and just before episodes 82, but you can listen to it as a standalone adventure. I would also like to take the opportunity to ask our lovely guests to talk about Adventurers Wanted.
Oh, God.
We're going to sound far less rehearsed than like radio star voices.
I am reading from a script.
Did you write I'm reading from a script on your script?
I have now.
Chloe and I run Adventurers Wanted. We do live events and streams of RPGs, mostly D&D, but we do spread out a little bit as well. We are currently streaming a live game that's recorded once a month from the Rosemary Branch Theatre called Undergods.
It genuinely started as a typo when I was planning the campaign, and I thought that sounds like a cool concept. What's wrong with it?
So that's on the first Tuesday of every month at the Rosemary Branch Theatre and online at twitch.tv/adventurerswanted. And we also stream with Wizards of the Coast. So we're currently streaming Agents of the Nine Hells, which I DM, and that is on Monday evenings at from 6 till 9 p.m. On twitch.tv/DND.
And the last Wednesday of every month on our Twitch channel, we stream Mixtape, which is a different RPG each month. So we've done Wizard Cops, and we've done The Rapid and the Righteous, and we've done 10 Candles and Dread. So there's a very kind of big span of different styles of things if you like random one-shots.
Seriously, find the Wizard Cops one. It's unbelievable.
I'm meaning to
Sounds
watch it. It's so good.
There are like 2 rules. It's so simple, and yet it was utter carnage.
Is it one where you have 2 stats, wizard and cop?
No, it's not quite that. It's more like roll a dice for stuff to happen. It's like 1 dice, roll it every now and again. It's madness.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, and at Adventurers250 on
Good
Twitter,
Twitter,
if you want to just generally know what we're up to.
Or Adventurers Wanted everywhere else, including Patreon. We have patrons. Money is difficult.
Yes, give us all money. Is the moral of this one shot.
No, absolutely.
A quick word on sort of tangential sponsors. Worth mentioning, Wizards of the Coast, thank you for giving me the campaign guide, Tyranny of Dragons, which is where I've got this from. And also a quick shout out as well to All Rolled Up, who provided Dragonmeet with these lovely little dice rolling trays, which we're using.
We held the leaflet up to the microphone like you'd
Yeah.
see it. Very sweet.
I started like stroking the dice tray really quietly to see if that was audible,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Much
We'll find out
creepy.
in post. And on that cheerful note, it's time to begin Flintlocks and Fireballs.
Dun, dun, dun.
Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains brother, no one's free.
Life on land is short, you'll see.
So
gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
No.
That's how we've done the theme tune live.
The good ship Krakensbane cuts through the icy waters north of the great forest of Meadmere, propelled by magical gales courtesy of Scamp, the bright pink goat-horned teenage tiefling sorcerer that serves as the ship's mage.
When you say teenage, we don't know I'm 13. I might be 10.
Somewhere between 10 and...
Literally,
15.
you're not allowed to be 10 because that's terrifyingly young for the ship.
It's quite hard to find out. Captained by Corzin Horhace, an unusually short halfling sailor with a long-standing vow of vengeance against the aforementioned Kraken, the ship is headed on a course for the town of Werrick's Watch, racing against time in the hopes of arriving on or before the day of Horhace's son's 8th birthday. Despite the hard grift, the crew are in fair spirits, thanks to the work of their chantyman, drow bard and anachronistic rock star, Celestia Stardust. However, such good spirits and good fortune do not last. The winds, those not conjured by Scamp, pick up and up throughout the day, carrying with them flurries of snow that would be unseasonable any further south. Soon, even magically conjured wind is not enough to overpower the wintry gales that rock the ship. The Krakensbane is caught in a snowstorm, the waves whipped into a tempestuous rage, and it is all the crew can do to keep her together, let alone on course. Yet, the ice is thick and treacherous in these parts, and with visibility slashed by the storm, it is only a matter of time until the ship crunches against a sheet of ice, the rigging tangling in the wind, or even snapping against the howling gale. With a stroke of thunder and a flash of lightning, 2 of the yards are shattered, causing the sails to hang uselessly, flapping in the winds.
We just got this boat.
We saved up so much money for this.
It took so long.
Fortunately, thanks to the skillful managing of the ship that you did at the end of last episode, you've avoided significant damage to the Krakensbane. However, the Krakensbane is foundered, stuck on the ice until the damage to her masts and their yardarms can be repaired and a more favourable wind can be found. Yet there is no sign of the storms letting up. In fact, as you listen to the screaming of the winds, you swear you can hear something else beneath. A long, low drone, like the call of a horn. It sounds like it's coming from the north. As you kind of get up, as you look around on deck, examining the state of the various disasters, you see as your carpenter, Watcher Wheels, comes up, looking at the deck, at the state of things, and shakes her head, frowning. "It's no good, Captain. We won't be able to put these back up until the storm lets up."
Damn it.
Well, fuck. What do we do now then?
Alright.
Game of cards? No?
A bit windy for fucking cards, isn't it?
Right.
Batten down the
Not that
hatches. We'll have to wait this one out, I think.
Your bosun, the nods. Aye, aye, Captain. He immediately begins barking commands, and the crew make way to, well, literally batten down the hatches and prepare to try and wait out the storm. That said, the storm really shows no sign of letting up.
You just hear Celestia sarcastically singing under her breath, "Windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys." Just to herself.
We're all together, boys. Yes. You wait 30, 40 minutes, an hour.
Does this storm seem natural to you?
I mean, there have been some weird noises, haven't there?
Amber?
Again, this continued.
Oh,
It doesn't
that one.
stop, it's just a long, continuous drone carried on the
What
Right.
in the region is that?
I'm not being funny. I know that I'm not that familiar with weather, but like, does this normally happen in storms? Is this like a surface thing?
No.
Or storms don't normally honk?
No.
I've never heard one honk before.
There was that storm of
Not
geese.
unless there's
that
an awful lot of geese.
we did have a storm of geese.
You did do that. How many geese was it? Like
I believe
11?
it was 17? 11.
11 geese.
It could have been up to 100.
Were any of them horrible?
All of them were.
They were just conjured like randomly in a bedroom first thing in the morning as well.
The roll was
Pretty awful.
wild magic. 1d100 geese appear. Yeah, so I'd like... Corzin, you're the one who first noticed it, so can you give me a nature check, please?
Certainly.
Yes.
That
Appropriately
is
metal
a
soundtrack.
13.
13. It's odd. There's something about the winds. They seem to be almost monodirectional, blowing inwards to deeper all more towards the north. It's almost as if they drew the ship inwards towards this the sheet of ice that it's currently grounded upon.
Well, that's not normal.
Well, this feels bad, doesn't it? Should we have a poke around? Should we try and see if we can
Yeah.
see anything? Anything weird?
Yeah, it's better than just sitting there freezing our bollocks off.
Yeah.
Is it?
The storm is thick and there's quite a lot of snow, so you will need to travel some distance along the ice sheet if you want to try and find things.
Isn't snow usually all pretty and like lacy looking? This
No,
is a bit violent.
This is what
Well,
I tried
when it's
to
on the
tell you.
ground, yes. but-
Sometimes it's awful.
No, this is the worst.
the
I'm
worst
with you.
thing.
It's fucking freezing.
Okay, do you have any preparations you wish to make before you set out? Anything you wish to bring with you, anything you wish to do?
I've already used
And
one
I'm
of my
waiting.
2 really big spells, so I think that's enough preparation.
You did use that to crack the ice and prevent taking serious
I
damage.
did, yeah.
Similarly, Scamp, you are down a fireball and a sustained wind spell from earlier from the previous episode,
And some sorcery points.
and some sorcery points.
We've just got to go and have a look, really.
All right.
Yeah.
Alright, let's...
You-
We go up
The three of you
onto the deck.
Yeah.
deploy the gangplank. set out into the snow. It is a cold, driving wind, which, and when I say driving, I mean it feels like it's cutting into your bones. You pull your clothes around you, tighten down your tricorn, Corzin.
I'll probably have to tie it on so it doesn't blow away.
Gathering together your many guns and swords.
Yeah.
I think probably your old dwarf cloak kind of tucked around you for warmth. You've got your rocks.
Got my dragon.
You've got your guitar as well.
Yeah, I've got all my instruments with me, like a knobhead, definitely.
I'm going to try and... For a 2'10" man, he's going to try and carve a path in front of everyone else, taking advantage of the fact that he has freedom of movement.
Can I do prestidigitation to make as a path? Is that because that melt enough?
You can melt a little bit, but to be honest, against the sheer warmth, you can do it's all you can do to keep yourself warm with it. Or you can choose. I'd say with prestidigitation, you can affect up to 5 targets, and it will keep them
warm. Leveled up prestidigitation.
Yeah, it will keep them warm for a while. I think the player's handbook is somewhere out there.
Yeah.
Or you can just check the thing. How long can you sustain?
I'll just have a look on my card. What am I doing?
Because you can warm.
It's up to an hour.
Yeah. Can you warm people, or is it just non-living matter?
Can you warm your clothes?
Yeah.
Just making a series of little hand warmers.
Okay, with your warming your clothes then,
making them warm.
I will let each of you make your constitution saves with advantage against the exposure.
Nat 20. Best
One of those was a
constitution
natural
roll
one,
I've
so
ever
I
rolled.
roll that.
Lucky.
Okay, con save.
15. I
15.
have got a good con.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, natural 20, yeah. It's like,
as well.
I'm wondering how this natural one works on this situation, because I'm almost imagining, like, you nearly freeze to death, but then you find a friendly dead Tauntaun.
I think probably there'd be like icicles falling around his beard. They'd be like, no wait. There.
You tighten it together, you manage to, and like there's actually a point where you're almost freezing and then you fall over, and the snow, there's like a snow drift, it's much thicker, and because it's actually about at head height for you, you're able to walk forwards protected by this shield of snow.
Little tricorn going over.
Yes.
Okay, it takes you a solid hour of travel, but as you go, you can still hear the sound from the north.
My nose is cold.
Come here. Tap
My
them on the
ears
nose.
are cold.
Tap them on the ears.
My
Do
tail's cold.
I can't do everything.
Are my hooves cold? Can I?
I don't know. I don't know how hooves work.
My ankles are cold.
I can't do all of you. I can only do 5 things.
Humanoid ankles and then hooves. Oh God! Oh no!
I hadn't thought about this in great detail. Now I have. That's scary.
Up ahead, though, through the storm here, and you can actually just make out a distant feature rising through the ice sheets. A hill, an iceberg towering over the plain. At its highest point, the jagged, frozen monolith rises up almost, you'd guess, 200 feet over the water and the ice sheets around it. As you continue struggling closer, the snow is banked up ahead and you have to clamber up over a rise. And as you do so, you come face to face with a huge block of ice, easily 25 feet long, 10 feet high. And you can see that the block has been carved so that there's a lip over the top of it, catching the snow so that the face of the block remains exposed, revealing the 10 grisly trophies within. You see 4 bodies. Four of the bodies are human, garbed in seal skins, faces frozen in expressions of terror. The other 6 bodies are dressed in thick wools, in cotton or leather, in a fashion unfamiliar to you. 3 of them are goblins, 2 are hobgoblins, and there is a bugbear as well, all posed in the moments of their death. Cowering or running, the bugbear actually knelt in prayer.
Well.
Yeah, thought I liked ice, not so sure now.
Should we just go back?
We'll just go back to the ship and just wait it out.
Austin's going to be happy you didn't sign on with that whaler.
No, we should brought Alton, he'd be well excited. Oh, dead bodies, at least I don't have to be mayor. He was supposed to be mayor, and he got so sad at the thought of a paperwork job that he's run away to be a pirate with us.
He's now our master gunner. Right.
Yes. Are they definitely dead and not undead?
How would you like to try and determine this?
By not going near.
Okay,
I'm just gonna
they do appear to be solidly encased in the ice.
Okay.
Like, they are proper, like, not even Han Solo slightly out, like, properly deep frozen.
Does it look like they've been there for a while?
It's...
I wouldn't be able to tell.
I guess make a
I
I would want to know.
perception check.
Corzin might be able to, but I don't
Yeah.
know if I would, because...
Yeah, make a perception
This is
check.
probably the biggest ice I've ever
8.
seen. So, like...
Perception.
Or maybe
17.
17. It's really hard to tell because they're frozen in the ice. They are like they're deep frozen. They are perfectly preserved. Make a medicine check though.
Okay. It's the usual world beater of 8. No, 9.
Hey!
There's like the bodies have suffered some frost damage, like they're blackened in places, like a lot of them actually, but other parts seem to be well preserved. You can't really tell how they died.
Alright.
I'm not being funny, right? Doesn't it take a really long time for ice this big to happen?
Generally, yes.
So how are they all frozen with, like, facial expressions? Because those usually don't take a long time to happen. This sounds stupid, but seriously.
No, you've got a very, very good point
Like
there.
really slow terror, like. I gotta keep that up. That's really cool.
It's terrifying, Scamp. Yes.
The wind will change your facial stick.
I don't think the wind's changing.
No, I wish it would. It'd make our jobs a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Right. That being the case, then this is almost certainly magic.
I think it must be. It doesn't make any sense otherwise, does it? I mean, ice gets this big without magic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does, but over
But
hundreds
not-
of years.
But exactly, not like people staying really still for hundreds of years doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
No.
Plus, yeah, if they died and stayed in that position, they wouldn't have for long because everything rises unless you do something about it.
That's a really ominous sentence.
And an important point to be aware of for the pair of you is that within Calcinea, unless bodies have their last rites conducted on them, all their heads are severed, all humanoid corpses will rise from the dead within 1 to 7 days.
Because it's normal, we've never questioned it.
Also, the gentle repose spell can stop that from happening.
Yeah.
Cool.
So actually, we should probably leave them in the ice because if we get them out,
They're probably
they'll
zombies.
start walking around and saying hello.
You mentioned that we
Are
don't.
the eyes moving?
That is actually a fair question.
With a perception of 17, it's impossible to tell if they are undead in there. Then they're so frozen in the ice that even their eyes can't move.
All right, you mentioned that we don't actually recognize their style of dress, but do they look relatively contemporaneous?
Roll a history check.
Okay. 8.
Okay. Yeah, you just haven't encountered this type of dress before. It's just not giving you any signs. It could be from hundreds of years ago, or it could be from today, but in a different part of the world entirely.
Could just
Right.
be a culture we don't know.
Yeah, you are just not familiar with the culture.
Should we check if there's your thing where you do, and you touch the ground and you sense stuff? That might be
Where he
if there's
touches the
something.
floor and looks all serious.
Yeah,
That's
that
not a bad
one.
idea,
The
right?
one where
Do
you,
that one.
so we know
Yeah,
what's
Corzin
around.
is going to cast Primeval Awareness.
Okay, you are casting Primeval Awareness. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, so you are...
That's not what you want to hear.
You're on the ice floes, but there is water all around you, so I think this will work within 6 miles for you, because this counts as a sort of
Yeah, does this count as
coastal...
coast?
It sort of counts as coastal, yeah, because you are by the sea. So, as you kneel to the ground and press your hand, to your presumably gloved hand, to the freezing ice,
It's just stuck.
you just the ambivalent octopus, the spirit that's around you, wraps its hands around your arm and its legs. Its legs.
That's a horrifying device.
Drops its legs around your arm,
Yeah.
and you pulse. He's trying to sense. First of all, you do as ever. You get the roaring sense of the waves. And the sea that comes from being within 6 miles of Celestia and the Eye of the Storm. But you also sense, you get the foul, kind of rotting scent of undead, which you get the feeling probably does answer the question about the status of the imprisoned corpses in front of you.
Yeah, we're not taking them out, all right?
Okay, good
But
to know.
you also feel... It's something strange. It's almost as if you bottled the flavour of avarice. There is a dragon within 6 miles of you.
No! Why?
That's the reveal of our characters, isn't it?
All right.
Playing a two-headed dragon.
Yeah.
One of the heads each. That's a great character concept. Somebody should do it with a friend. That would be so much fun.
Both of you keep an eye on the skies.
Why?
Why?
Because everything's fine and that we're going
I'm
home.
going to see some pretty birds.
Where's Marjorie?
Yeah,
Where is Marjorie?
it's a point. Have you brought Marjorie and
I've
Jeffrey
brought
with you?
Marjorie and Jeffrey
Marjorie
with me.
and Jeffrey,
Robbie's
your
starting
familiar
a zoo
pigeons,
for the new people at the table.
and your monkey are both hiding in your backpack against the cold.
Oh,
I mean,
they
Jeffrey's
hate
probably in
each
my
other.
backpack shitting.
Yeah, Jeffrey's actually in Celestia's backpack,
Having
leaving
a
you
pivot.
presents.
What's
There's a
happening?
dragon.
What?
I can sense a dragon.
Fucking dragon?
Yeah.
Fuck. Shit. Balls.
Would I be able to associate what type of dragon is likely to be in this type of environment?
Make a nature check.
Do I know
You
anything
want
about
to bring
dragons?
dice?
Make a nature check.
I might do. I don't know.
I did see one once. I'm going to roll a
Educated
nature. Oh,
Okay, that's an 11.
15, I think.
18.
18. So with an 11, you're not 100% sure. You've heard some. You're aware that there are dragons that will make their lairs at the very edges of civilization. With an 18, you know. Well, you also know that many dragons will return to the Draconic Empire after a certain amount of growing older, but eventually they will leave to carve out their own lairs. You know that this would be an ideal location for a particular breed of dragon, which is very immune to decidedly immune to the icy temperatures and otherwise untroubled. A particular breed of dragon with white scales and icy breath.
I have a very pertinent question. Would it have the same scales as the dragon skin coat that I am currently
You are
wearing?
wearing the skin of a silver dragon.
Okay.
Good. Lovely.
Aren't they really nice?
We did find the skin. We didn't.
We didn't kill a
find-
dragon for this. We found the skin at random and made coats out of it.
They found the skin in a vault of a really eccentric collector.
I
Right.
do, however, when you say it's a dragon, just casually turn my coat on the reversible side where the dragon scales aren't very
Yes, you're now
obviously
wearing,
visible.
instead of your silvery dragon skin, which ironically for once is actually blending into the environment better than your purple coat, you
Sad.
flip round and now you are standing out as a bright purple splotch.
Is this worse? I just feel like the dragon's going to be offended if it sees a person.
This is the
in a
only
dragon
No, to
situation
be
in which your
honest,
silver
I'd
dragon
probably
skin is
rather
not
we
giving you
don't get lost in
disadvantage.
any of this.
Yeah.
I will say
I'm
this
going
is,
to put my boot covers on my dragon
cool.
skin.
This is the
I'm nearly
only
entirely
environment
dressed in dragon
in
skin.
which your bright silver dragon skin boots and cloak and coat are not giving you disadvantage at stealth.
Oh, should I leave it? I just.
Well,
There's a dragon flying around. I feel like it's going to be a problem.
I'm going to cast mage armor.
Yeah, maybe do that.
Oh, I haven't rolled my
Where
opium
did
hit
you
points
roll?
yet. I'm going to do that because I've definitely had one
You've
today.
smoked like
We're at very high addiction levels at this point. Okay, that's
yeah.
Nothing will go wrong when you run out. Everything will be fine.
It's fine.
Everything is fine. Everything's not fine. Spoiler.
Definitely not dealing with serious opium addiction.
Okay, another
really
pertinent
bad at this
question.
point.
With the primeval awareness, I think
Yes.
we established previously that while I'm in my favourite terrain, it works up to 6 miles, but I also know if it is within 1 mile.
We did establish that. It is within 1 mile.
Right. Okay.
Why would you ask that? I'd rather not know.
So
I would rather know.
There is a dragon within 1 mile of your location.
Wow.
Up ahead, you can see the iceberg. You definitely, listening in, you can tell that the boom sound seems to be coming from the iceberg.
a question, my dears. Can we kill a dragon? Probably not.
Depends how big it is.
Does depend how big
We
it is.
met one recently, and I got stabbed right here, so
Yeah,
no.
you said you didn't
That
tell
wasn't
anyone
a-
for ages, and it was really bad.
It's not infected.
It was terrible.
Yeah, never ever do that again.
Don't get hit by a green dragon's claws.
That was an adult.
I acknowledge we're in crisis mode at this point, but please tell people when you are injured.
Yeah.
You've got 2 people who can do healing.
Yeah. But I mean, if this is the source of what's keeping us here, we've got to figure out exactly.
Maybe it's nice, and if we ask, it'll stop.
That was adorable. That's so sweet.
Or at the very
gonna
least,
kill
it's
us, isn't it?
It's gonna
intelligent.
kill us. We should see how big it is. We should see how much of a problem it is. We should see if we need to attack it or just freak it out a bit till it leaves. I wouldn't be freaked out by us if I was a dragon. That's a stupid idea, isn't it?
We're very small.
We are very tiny. You particularly.
Yeah.
So you're going to head up towards the iceberg.
Quietly.
Very quiet.
Can I have stealth checks? Which way round are you wearing your coat?
You know what? She's gonna turn it inside out, look at the purple against the snow, and be like, okay.
So for once, I would like your
Yeah.
like as a straight stealth check with the silver side out.
I'm putting my hood up.
Don't make noise. If that makes any
Ooh,
sense.
oh my god, it's a good stealth
It's a
check
good
for
stealth
Celestia.
Seven.
Fucking hell.
That never happens.
23.
22. Yes.
Okay. So Scamp, with the black hood up, your as ever your form blurs a little into the shadows of the snow. It's a little hard to tell. Celestia, you are also blending surprisingly well for once with these with the silvery skin matching the ice around you. Corzin,
Bad.
you don't make any noise, but in fairness, the wind is so hard. The wind is strong enough that it's really hard to hear your footsteps anyway. However, you are a bright. Sort of, I think your waistcoat's green, isn't it? Yeah.
The waistcoat's brown.
The waistcoat's brown, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're a bright sort of brown and blonde splodge
Covered
in the
in
landscape.
You do have a
Covered
bright red sash on as
with
well.
a bright red sash.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, with the other two around you, you're hoping that you're kind of remaining relatively unseen. The iceberg is wide and tall. How do you want to try and proceed? Are you going to try and see if you can find a path, or are you going to try and just scale the side?
I've got a climber's kit, but it's an ice thing.
Alright.
You know, goods and bads.
Yeah.
If it's solid, we'll probably be alright.
Under the circumstances, I'll say that the climber's kit probably doesn't grant you advantage, but will prevent you from falling.
Okay.
That's worth
cool.
it.
Yeah.
That's easily worth
Should
it.
we try and
Or
climb?
shall we look for a path in case
Let's
they
look for a
dabble
path
off?
first, because if we see one when we're halfway up the fucking wall, we're going to be really pissed off.
Yeah.
If you're going to
Flying seems like a terrible idea.
You'd be
It
blown
does.
straight off course. No.
Yeah.
If you're going to look for a path, I would like a survival check from one of you, please. I think Corzin, you're the only one. So you can't give him advantage.
Scamp's never been out of one town, and
18.
I've only been above ground a couple of months.
See,
So.
you look around, you trudge around the edge, peering, kind of studying the edge of the iceberg until you spot a flattened portion to the side. You
There.
signal the others and begin trudging your way through.
Sort of
keeping
snakes
low.
down.
As you make your way along, you find it's actually is like a little gully almost, and as you push your way through, there's a bit of protection, shelter against the storm. And you find yourself making your way through, turning a corner to an ice shelf, on the edge of which is water broken in where the ice is broken. You can see that there's a fair expanse of water, and it does actually lead out further beyond the ice sheet, out to the sea, to the frozen seas north of Meadmere. The edge of the shelf by the water is littered with bones, big and small. There are, looking at them, many of them are enormous, they are cracked, there are ribs that arch taller than Celestia.
Whale bones?
Give me a nature check.
Oh look, the dragon's dead. We should go.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. The storm will probably just stop soon.
Nature, that is 19.
Yeah. Most of these are seal bones. There are a few whale bones. There are some whale carcasses as well. There are also definitely a couple of human femurs, humanoid femurs that you recognise. Many of them show signs of having been cracked, the marrow drunk from them, or tooth or claw marks on them, on both the whale seal bones, but also the humanoid bones.
Okay, given a look at these tooth marks, how big are the teeth?
With that nature check?
Yeah.
Right, you
give
could
us an idea of the
fashion
size.
one of the teeth into a very serviceable belt knife.
Alright.
Like a Corzin-sized belt knife, like
Human-sized
we're
belt
talking
knife.
different- Cool.
You want to say that these teeth are like good 6 inches long?
Oh fuck. It's big.
Alright, so we're looking at something between the size of like a large horse and an elephant.
Oh, bigger.
How big's an elephant?
Oh, right, yeah.
Genuinely, I've seen pictures. But...
Alright, those beetles in the Underdark that
Oh,
pull
yeah.
the barges.
Oh, fucking massive! Brilliant.
Great. Everything's fine.
Looking around.
It's not.
Is there a dragon? Can we see a
You
dragon?
can't. Give me a perception check.
Yes.
I'm going to make a
Perception
perception
check for
check.
dragons. 5. Natural 20 again.
Natural 20.
Oh, I'm getting all my good numbers out for things like perception checks, and I'm going to
18.
die later.
You look above. No dragon, but the winds. You notice the pattern of the snow is swirling directly around the peak of this iceberg. And you also notice, almost barely visible from this perspective, there is a chasm splitting through the ice near the shelf. And you can see that there is a path leading directly up through the chasm. Just shallow enough of a gradient that you reckon you could climb it.
I'm going to say I relay this rather
Yeah.
than repeating it all.
Probably where the dragon is, isn't it then?
Yeah.
The swirly wind
sense.
bit with all the
Yeah.
magic. Yeah.
So keeping your stealth checks from before, you move ahead up the chasm. It's narrow enough that you can only go one at a time. What order would you like to travel in?
I think I was in front before.
Cool.
Height order so everyone can see.
Height order. So Corzin, you're going
Yes.
first.
Also,
Height
if you have to shoot, no one's shooting through anyone else.
Right, so Corzin, Scamp, Celestia. You make your way up the thin shelf. And as you clamber up, you actually clamber up a good 100 feet through the iceberg. It takes you a minute or so to climb it. And you reach a sheltered plateau. Almost the sort of walls of the iceberg around it provide protection from the wind. And the plateau is fairly extensive, which is good because it has inhabitants. You see...
How did you time that so well?
there is...
Because wizard.
you can see a large number of structures. Easily, I want to say like 80 to 90 buildings. A mixture of sealskin yurts and little circular houses made from ice blocks. There doesn't seem to be a lot of wood here, and you can see people, humans, it would appear, almost entirely, in fact, yes, as far as you can tell, entirely humans, moving around. They are dressed in, they have the same sort of pale skin and dark hair as the Meadmerish do, generally, but they are cloaked in thick garb of sealskin, for the most part. The sealskin, you notice, actually has been slightly decorated in places. They have little blue thread along the hem and a little decorative stitching. They do not appear to have noticed you. You would guess from those out and about, you can see maybe 100 people or so. They seem to be going about their lives, And you notice, I'd actually like anyone who wants to make an intelligence check.
Go on. I'm
Super
intelligent
smart.
now
This
because
will
I've
go well.
got a magic thing.
Ooh, 10.
16.
19.
19. 16 and 19. You both notice a couple of oddities. So the heating, there are little oil lanterns, little ones made from just bits of bone and so on held together, and burning whale blubber essentially for light and heat. But there are a large number of drying racks, which are air drying fish that have been caught, or seal meat, or whale meat, or so on. Far more than you would expect for a village of this size. With actually a surprisingly large amount of fish caught, fish and seals and so on caught for, again, what seems to be a relatively isolated area with only limited access to the sea.
Like they have a silly amount of food.
There is a disconcerting amount of food, much of it drying to be preserved from the looks of it.
Do we think they made a deal with the dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also
The fact they're
notice,
still alive suggests so.
you also notice here and there odd, curious things. The most of their tools are made from bone or from horn or so on. But glancing through, you notice one seems to be eating from a simple kind of like high, like it's like essentially like a stiffened leather bowl, but the spoon is metal. One is drinking some sort of, you don't know whether it's tea or alcohol or whatever, from a oddly fine porcelain cup. Like it's got little floral patterns on it.
Super out of place.
Yeah. However, from your hidden position, none of them seem to have noticed you yet. There does not appear to be, as far as you can tell, any other exit out of this plateau.
Should we talk to them?
I think it's probably best we make ourselves known at some point.
Yeah,
Or are we going to get fed to a dragon?
Well, we probably don't want to mention that we're here to hurt the dragon because it kind of looks like they might.
We don't need to. We just need it to stop so we can leave.
Yeah.
Just like a brief pause in the massive
Yeah.
storm thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they're nice?
I think they're probably using the equipment of dead people, so...
There are other things you
done
make
that
bone
before.
tools out of other than dead people.
No,
but
the cup. I don't think they made the cup.
No.
I think the dragon killed someone and they probably took the cup.
But equally, if you live on an iceberg and you've got something you can use, why wouldn't you use it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they fed the person to the dragon necessarily, but
They probably did, yeah. Oh dear.
Let's
I
go
love about the
say
two of you.
hello.
You're always the eternal optimists.
And you're the internal optimist. Deeply annoying.
How do you want to approach them? Like saying hello? Like, how do you want to do this?
Oh god, we're gonna look so fucking out of place here, aren't we?
Does anyone look friendly?
Yeah, does anyone look
Roll an
nice?
insight check.
Ooh, I will do that.
17?
No.
17. Okay. Looking through, you take a few minutes to kind of study them, see how they're moving. It seems like there are a couple of... Most of them are just getting on with their day-to-day lives, but you see a few people who seem to be the focus of attention. People where they're going or talking or so on. One of them is a couple of them appear to be two figures. There is a huge, burly-looking human woman who has a massive, sort of bone spear on her back.
She looks nice.
You see that she's got a series of little hide shields. You get the feeling that this is some sort of village champion type affair going on. There seems to have a certain amount of attraction from various individuals who seem to be from. You can't actually make out the language from where you are. It doesn't quite sound the same as German, but you are able. But yeah, they seem to have some degree of interest. There is an older human man who you see walking into a large sort of village hall built of whalebone struts covered with seal skin. But you also notice that there is once slightly odd, slightly cluttered-looking yurt off to one side, and a number of people, particularly the children of the village, seem to be focused there. They would come or bring things, or seem to be going there to ask questions or leave.
Well, that one looks safest.
Well, the one where all the children are going.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't do anything terrible in front of the children.
Yes, because nothing terrible has ever happened in front of me.
Yeah, they got
Okay,
you there.
yep, fair, yep. Yeah, that's me told. Should we go? Should we go
Let's
there?
go see the children.
You're a child. Maybe they'll like you.
Okay.
Bright pink. Most people like pink. I don't know.
Are you approaching openly from the edge and going there, or are you sneaking up to the yurt and entering that way?
I think we've got to go openly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if we
Yeah.
sneak
If we are discovered, then that's going to look...
somebody
Confidently.
sneaking into your
Yeah.
yurt is pretty creepy, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Walk with confidence, like we belong.
yeah.
Puff out my chest.
So,
in my ridiculous
the
clothes.
three
I'm
of
still
you
my fucking
step
cod
up.
piece. They're not going to like me.
Wow, and immediately there's just sort of the various people turn, seeing these three strangers.
Hello.
One of them wearing friggin' dragon skin,
that's
as far as they can tell.
Shit.
I guess.
before, I didn't think of
I'm
it in
trying to think
villages.
of what the appropriate thing here would be. I want you to make a performance check.
Yeah, go on. I definitely try and like flourish in and
Yeah.
look awesome.
16.
Are we all making performance checks?
I think so, everyone, yes.
Okay.
That is a 1.
Wow, it was on the fun die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fuck on the fuck dive. So, yeah.
20.
So,
Seriously?
20, 1.
How did the ranger
And
roll a 20 and
60.
the bard roll a 1?
Yeah. We're in the upside down. That's clearly what's happened.
Okay, so the pair of you step out first, and there's a kind of look of, strangers. What are these people? Wow, look at all the weapons that one's carrying. They seem this strange pink one. They're impressive. And then Celestia steps up, and you see some of them. You watch as their faces drop. There is a look of horror and fear.
I wave.
Okay, the coat might have been a bad idea.
Shit balls.
And you see immediately the elderly figure. People start calling the elderly figure out of the village hall. The champion
more quickly.
starts striding up. Are you all walking towards the little hut? Yeah, you start walking towards the little yurt.
Yep,
As the village starts crowding together, and at this point, you hear from outside of your yurt a great clamoring and shouting, and you hear you speak and understand the tongue of the villagers here. You hear the champion calling out, the champion Orcaheart calling out, "What are these outsiders? They come bearing... No! We must drive them away! We must drive them away!"
Well, I better go see what's happening then.
Okay, so
Get up to me,
as you're approaching the yurt, you see emerging from within. Would you like to describe yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My character, I have drawn a tiny picture.
Oh.
Very cute. A gnome woman, so quite short, very bundled up in lots of layers of seal skin and things, and you can probably just see like a little face poking out with tufts of very kind of corkscrew ginger hair. The one distinctive thing that you will probably notice, because I was asked to have a distinctive thing, there is a tinkered, it's almost kind of like a piercing stretcher, but it is in her cheek.
Ooh.
And it exposes, like you can see the teeth straight through to the teeth on the right hand side of her face.
That is metal as fuck.
Working really hard. There is a really horrific story reason behind it. Yes. And like kind of big eyes are just like the kind of person who moves side to side when they walk, as well as forward. Just
Yeah.
Oh, little sway.
I bundle out and I assume I see these people.
Yeah, you see, I guess, because we haven't really described them to you, do you want to quickly describe what the three of your characters look like?
So I can
as well?
figure out how to respond appropriately.
Yes, so let's go with height order, so Corzin.
Okay.
Perfect.
You see a halfling sailor who is short even for a halfling. He is 2'10". He has reasonably well-weathered clothes and a battered tricorn on his head. He's also got quite a lot of extra layers wrapped around him for the situation he's in. But he's got a shock of sort of sandy-coloured hair and tanned skin.
Scamp.
A bright pink child.
Like cerise pink,
yeah.
bright pink.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot for Corzin, he's got
Many
6 weapons.
Many weapons.
He's
Visibly.
a fucking walking armory, yeah.
Silver hair, like ram's horns, big cow ears, tail, hooves.
Cool.
4'4", used to be taller, but wild magic.
You're currently wearing a
I've got a
black
cloak round
cloak, which weirdly seems to like blur at the edges a little.
Okay.
And Celestia.
I'm a 6'4" drow, made even taller by this big dandelion of white hair that just sticks all the way out. It just grows like that. Purple bandana, big purple hoop earring, big gold hoop earring with a purple stone, dragon skin fucking trench coat. Yeah, which I imagine is actually done quite up. Unusually, there's not boob out because it's freezing. And peeking out the bottom, you will see a midnight blue leather codpiece with a letter C on it for Celestia, obviously.
Little silver
It was like
studs.
a codpiece.
Yeah. And some thigh-high purple, thigh-high dragon skin boots as well, actually. No, they're also dragon skin, I forgot that. So yeah, silver dragon skin everywhere, all silver and
Quick
purple.
question: have you brought the Aphoclyde?
Oh shit, yeah, instrument. I'm covered in instruments. I forget
Yeah,
this
there
because
is
they're
a-
just here all the time.
there's
So
a-
crossed over my back there is... You wouldn't know what it is. You'd know what it is. It's an electric guitar. Like a literal, like, modern lightning bolt-shaped electric guitar.
Nice.
The other way there is an Ophoclyde, which is like a saxophone, but massive. There is also a xylophone somewhere in this mix, and a drum hanging off her hip. One-man band.
Really similarly with my character, it's like there's a club and there's a dagger and there's a joust and there's a javelin and there's a
things.
like that kind of thing.
Max is holding on to thing Calcinea.
Yeah.
God, it shows.
Yeah. You can see there's a bit of clutter in the yurt. You can't tell what exactly is in there, at least until you enter it. But as you step out, you can see this. All the villagers are crowding around. Some have grabbed weapons. There's a panicked look, and Orcahart approaches you. Bill, these outsiders. Do you see what this one wears?
Yes, they seem to be quite a lot. Right.
Raised
Do
an
you
awkward
want?
hand.
Do you want me to go talk to the outsiders? I'm happy to.
They seem to think for a moment. Yes, you speak their tongue.
Yes. Okay. Right. Hello. Just walking
Oh, you
straight
speak Jovan. Hello.
Hello. Question the first. Who are you?
I am Scamp. Hello.
Could I finish the questions
Right,
and then
questions.
question first,
Yeah,
who are
questions
you? B, where are you from? And lastly, are you able to leave?
No. Wait, which order?
What order
I'm
would you
going-
like them in? Would you like them in the order you did them?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you. I put out a hand for you to shake.
Right.
We have a little handshake.
Yes, thank you.
Scamp.
Right.
Corzin Horhace at your service.
Right. My name is Kamaria Ella Lily Ula Ala, but Bill for short. Haven't yet decided how it feels to meet you. I could potentially be at your service, and you didn't say anything else.
Great, lovely. What was the next one? I've forgotten.
Where are you from?
No idea.
Technically Utu, but sort of travelling right now.
Well, we've just come from Seoul, but Wending originally.
And are you able to leave?
No.
But we'd
No.
like to.
We would love to.
Yeah.
Also, addendum, what are you wearing?
Clothes?
An amazing outfit.
It looks like it's made of a dragon. That's all.
No, definitely not. No.
It's pretend. It's fine.
It's yeah.
Can I roll to see if it
Can I roll
is
deception?
pretend?
Yes, deception versus insight, please.
Also,
It's like,
she might just be able to tell. I don't know.
well, no, that was a 5.
Oh, I might have you there. Definitely. That is numbers 18.
It's a really convincing imitation, you have to admit.
Well, that is very special. Well done,
Actually
you.
made by a gnome tailor, which is why it's such a good fake.
Ah, right. I see.
But maybe you want to turn it round.
I'm just gonna,
It's a freezing
freezing.
moment.
Oh, it's really cold. There we go. It's done.
It's now a really like lush purple instead.
Right.
I'm gonna put my boot covers on as well, which are also purple to cover up the shiny dragon skin.
It would be great to try and have you off as soon as possible.
Please.
It's not really the place for other people to be here.
Our ship's stuck.
What
Our
even
ship's
is this
really
place?
stuck.
Oh, this place?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I know there is a name for it.
It's okay.
You're
playing a gnome. You had a lot of lore to deal with. You're playing a gnome in this setting.
There's a really beautiful name that Jason sent me. Oye Vigaton.
That's a fantastic
I'm
name.
going to try and write that.
This is Oye Vigaton.
Okay.
Okay,
That's a great town name.
that's really good.
Yes, it means the Isle of Eternity.
Oh,
So have you been here forever? Is that the whole thing?
Oh, well, I haven't. Some of the others, they've definitely been here before me, so who knows?
What brings you here then? Because
Oh, I'd just like to wander, and then certain circumstances happened that stopped further wandering.
fair enough.
okay.
Would you?
Do you want a lift if we get out?
Yeah. Do you want to lift anywhere?
A number of there's still this whole crowd around you, kind of curious what's happening, how this is going. The Orca Heart goes, Bill, what is their business?
Right. So it appears that they're stuck. I assume it's because of the storm. Obviously, ships don't really fare well in that. So, yes, they do want to leave, but can't.
The champion seems uncertain about what to do.
Yes. And the coat is just pretend. It's just a very good fake. So no kind of stuff happening there. Just goes,
Make sure that the
When they're gesturing me, I just like
master
put a
does
thumb up.
not. Make sure the master does not see it.
oh, don't you worry about that. Should I?
Yes, we will return to our duties. Please get rid of them.
Right. Would you like to?
You hear a command bark. Oh, Daganasa! And the group disperses.
Is everything okay?
Right.
That is a very big question. Would you be able to break it down into bullet points?
Are we in trouble? Is the first question that I have.
Shall we go into my yurt and then we can break down that question into tinier pieces?
That sounds nice.
Yes.
Right.
If you wouldn't mind.
So the yurt itself, like many of the others in the village, is a bell-shaped tent made of stretched steelskin. Unlike the others, the interior walls are festooned with sewn pouches and pockets, crammed with miscellany, everything ranging from beautifully carved bone statuettes to tools to incongruous or Syrian-made miniature clocks. Some of the larger items, including what appears to be an umbrella stand and a gilt-painted wooden statue of a spaniel, are used to prop up salvaged wooden boards that look like they're part of a ship's deck, upon which further knickknacks have been positioned. There is a narrow hole, just tall and wide enough for a halfling to walk through, or a gnome, leading into a small cave of hoarded objects. And you can just see sandwiched amid all of the miscellany is a small hammock.
I just walk straight in assuming that, like, you'll be fine.
Yeah, Corzin, you'll be fine as well to
Yes.
walk in.
I'm going to
How
struggle.
long have you been here?
Sorry?
How long have you been here?
Oh, a couple of years, I think.
Oh.
Jeffrey, touch nothing.
There's a pigeon and a monkey both emerge from separate backpacks.
How many more are there of you?
That's everyone
Fucking up, you've been shitting in here again.
except for Friend. Friend, I suppose, is here. Friend, are you
Cast
here?
prestidigitation to get the
Always
shit out of my
says
bag.
a voice that only Scamp can hear.
Friend's here too, but you won't see him.
Right. So you were asking, are you in trouble?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm assuming that I'm squeezing through this doorway at this point in time.
Yeah,
Give me
you
a hand.
probably have to like crawl on your hands
Yeah.
and knees, I'm assuming.
Do I get in
Yeah,
okay?
you kind of have. I'm saying you can get in, but you really are hands and knees in this place.
Yeah.
It's suddenly very cramped.
And I very much assume that everyone will just find somewhere to sit. I
I
don't
kinda
know.
sit some
You've got a little oil burner which you do tea on.
Yeah, I'll start making some tea.
I sit with my knees up by my ears somewhere. Whether we're in trouble was definitely the question.
And how do we leave?
You notice, by the way, Bill gets the tea leaves from a beautiful little tin, and the teapot itself, again, looks weirdly well made.
That is a very nice teapot. Where did you get that?
From people.
Dead people. I said it's all dead people.
Is all this stuff salvaged?
Well, some is salvaged, and some is like memories, I guess is what you'd say.
Alright.
Oh.
Like of people. What's that word? Where it's like a memory of a person, but it's a thing.
A memento?
Yes.
Oh.
That's
That kind of
nice.
stuff.
It's a nicer way of saying dead people things.
It is much nicer. Stop saying it. You're making it worse. We're in somebody else's house. Be nice.
Do you perhaps have a big family then?
Well, everyone here's my family.
Oh, right, I see.
How long have you been here?
About 2 years. Yes, about 2 years.
Fair enough.
Is
I
that
think so.
everyone or just you?
Oh, no. People here long before I was.
Alright.
How do we leave?
Well, the problem is, you can't swim because the water is too cold.
Yeah.
You can't take a boat because the storm's too hard, and you can't exactly like just fly out of here or just walk out of here because, exposure. Yeah. So that kind of limits your options.
It does rather, doesn't it?
Well, what we need is for the storm to stop. Then we can probably get the boat out and leave you all alone.
I mean, yes, but the thing is, for the storm to stop, you'd probably have to stop Rathator, so...
Rathator?
The dragon?
How...
We're a perceptive bunch.
Wait, have you seen...
No, we're...
No. But we have an instinct about these things.
We know everything.
Wait, you know?
Wait.
I think Ram and Bill just blandly believing everything. I should at least roll like once.
I am full of shit.
That's
entirely
fine.
reasonable.
Insight again is that's an 8. So.
I mean, I'm not sure I'm being deceptive.
Yeah,
okay.
You feel like this drow knows a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, but okay. What do you know about dragons then? And maybe, well, if we're quiet, what do you know about dealing with them?
You two have dealt with the dragon. I was
I got
indisposed at
stabbed
the time.
here.
You did. It wasn't nice. It was all poisonous and stuff, wasn't it?
This one was green. I'm guessing this one's not green.
What colour?
This one is decidedly white.
Yeah.
White.
That makes
not the
sense.
green
This
one.
sort of the world, yeah. Alright.
Maybe they all do different things.
But they're smart. You can talk to them, can't you?
Yes.
Oh yes, there's been talking.
We're quite good at talking to people.
We can be good.
We
at talking to
started
people.
and stopped a revolution.
Twice. Well, we didn't stop the second one.
That was intentional.
I mean, that's promising. To be honest, most people who try to talk to a Rathator, it doesn't. They end up as the trophy wall or
The trophy wall's all the dead
kobolds.
people, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Basically, they're kind of in charge.
You said most. Do some get away with it then? Some.
Well, you need to have like a significant amount of body to go in the trophy wall.
Right.
If if anything.
Food.
I mean, most of it's the fish and that. But
Does also eat people.
and I guess and like points to her right cheek.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow.
Ow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. I try to, I have little one and then just like fiddles with something. Basically, reaches directly above where there's like a dangling pocket, and then reaches in. And just like people have different things for inside their stretchers. Like as a gnome, she has tinkered different little like decorative things for her cheek. It was was told it was a reminder that my mouth was not the one. What was it? I had 2 mouths to feed, and one of them was his.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
But you can
Fucking
brush
hell.
your teeth.
I was asked to come up with a distinctive scar.
You are a dark person, very much.
You can now brush your teeth without opening your mouth, so that's fun.
Oh, how did you know? and like reaches back up and pulls that one that has like a little crank on the outside and a toothbrush on the inside.
It's kind of disconcerting. By the way, speaking of
I'm kind of
disconcerting
mesmerised
things,
that it's just
something I forgot to mention is that because of your nature, you can see spirits. You can see what the spirits that others can't. So you notice that around, floating nearby Corzin, is what appears to be a spiritual sort of octopus. It looks kind of vaguely ambivalent towards the situation. Drifting around Celestia is almost like a swath of rainbow colour.
Think sort of the carpet in Aladdin,
but the pride
flag.
There is no spirit around Scamp, but they seem weirdly present. Strangely real in a way that you've never really noticed anyone feel before.
Wait, you all have you work with spirits?
No.
Yeah.
As you say,
you can see them
clustering out from the hundreds of little objects are just tiny wisps of colour, little like fish spirits, little things looking like crabs. Just the little ones that tend to be around you.
Did you say you can see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can both see them. Yeah. So there are just lots of tiny ones in the yurt.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got lots of little ones.
Oh, where?
Everywhere.
Is one there? Is the one there? How about here?
Not quite. I moved the finger until they're pointing at one. There's one. There you go.
Does it react at all?
It's like a tiny purple hippopotamus, and it just goes.
I love it. We should take it home. Oh, it's a shame you'd love it. It's a tiny little hippo thing.
Special though. No, I am a normal child.
Okay. I mean, everyone's like a normal child where they're from, right?
Yes.
Okay, that seems to be settled. So
I feel like you notice Celestia and Corzin just like kind of looking away as they're not making eye contact with anyone.
Well, for the moment, they're a normal child on our ship.
Yes, that's true.
So how do we find the dragon?
I mean, we know where Aratator is. Thing is, okay, you seem like you've got, obviously you have spirits and something about you, but if anything were to go wrong or Aratator were to get angry, then
all the people.
everyone,
The people here would suffer, wouldn't they?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I kind of don't want that.
No, we
and
don't
it seems,
want that.
obviously I get that you want to leave, and that's understandable, but
We don't want to fuck up a whole village on our way out.
yes.
Because you have an arrangement with Aratator, do you?
Yes.
But
The
we've
dragon
got,
keeps you alive.
we've got a ship full of people.
Wait, I
We
thought you
can't-
said there weren't any more.
Oh, they're back that way.
We
How
didn't
many
bring them.
people?
A lot. How many?
200.
How many?
Just under 280.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like 280. Yeah, that's
I can
people.
get us out, but we can't leave them there.
No,
No.
but there must be a way to do it without messing up this village.
If we abandoned the ship, I could technically get everyone into the Grimani's basements.
That would take too long.
Also, we can't abandon the fucking
No, we
ship.
can't
It took us so
abandon
long.
the-
It took
so
so long to get one. Also, it's little Corzin's birthday, and we have to get
Yes.
Yeah, we've got to get to a birthday party.
there. When we're going, yes,
right.
really, really important birthday.
Right.
It's his kid's birthday. We want to bring him a ship.
You don't turn 8 every day.
That is, yes, that is how time works, isn't it? Yes. Right. Okay.
I know time works a little bit different where you come from.
Sorry?
That is
You
a
know.
thing we should not know.
No, you know.
We're well travelled.
Do all of you know?
Yeah. I was going to lie, and then I just didn't.
That seems like a good way to do things.
Yeah, we ended up there once by accident.
We did. We got stuck in the Great Forest, and we had a gnomish tailor with us, and he took us through to get out, so that it wouldn't take months.
Oh, yes, it can be a lot if you're not native.
Yeah.
Fingerwoods.
Fingerwoods were terrifying.
You've seen the fingerwoods before. They are terrifying.
They're exactly what they sound like.
They are trees made of fingers.
Sounds lovely.
Not a fan of the fingerwoods myself either.
No, horrifying. But yeah, we've been there a few times. I mean, I've been there quite a lot at this point. I can go in my sleep. It's not like I'm really there, but
Well,
yeah, that'd be really hard.
Sleep, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't normally have people this special come or come across us.
Are all the people here just like people who arrived at random times?
No,
How do
a
they
lot
live
of them they were here before Urathator came.
Oh.
Okay. And normally it's been fine dealing with like worm flights and things like that and smaller dragon type things. But
this is a big one?
Yeah, kind of took over.
How big?
Okay.
So
How big? My arms aren't wide enough.
Right.
I don't. Definitely big.
Great.
Proper big adult dragon.
Yes.
Right.
Big adult one.
Alright.
So, are the villagers like how do the villagers feel towards the dragon? Is it like a good thing that there's a dragon here? Is it like terrifying that there's a dragon here? What are we talking?
Well, I couldn't necessarily speak for everyone, but I'd say that everyone would be much, much happier if we could click our fingers and Urathator was gone. But it's just kind of a difficult thing to do, and so there's a lot of fear. And not really big fans. But what are you going to do? Because otherwise the option is dying. So.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you've
still a
taken
big
the right
smile
choice.
on her face throughout this entire time.
Yeah.
How do we get it just to stop for a bit so we can leave?
Stop for a bit.
Yeah, just stop making the storm for a bit, or go somewhere else. Really.
You have no idea.
Like, I'm going to continue with this bit. Takes out the toothbrush, puts in a different one, which is just like, you kind of see that it has like a big sherbet lemon attached to it. And like, that's what sorry, this helps me think.
Whatever you need, go for it.
No, I can't.
So the only option we've got is talking to it or killing it, which I don't think we can.
Sounds very big.
Bill, roll an intelligence check.
Thank you, dear. Ooh, that's 14.
You recall during your conversations with Urathator's more amenable minions that they mentioned someone else, a stranger.
Oh, the shell. The cunning.
Yeah.
There's no wait. The lemon worked. Right. So
good lemon. Yay.
Happy lemon, good lemon.
Never lets me down. There's someone. Basically there are some kobolds that do dirty work for Urathator, and they mentioned. I've heard of them talk about someone because most people get frozen in the trophy wars, but there's someone that they call the cunning shell. I don't know what else. That's all I know, but I mean, it sounds like they're important.
Well, let's go find them.
Like they might have sway with the dragon or something.
Or
they're cunning.
Cunning's a good word in this context.
And I think
yes,
that's probably the best route through.
Yeah.
That's what the lemon tells me anyway.
Trust the lemon.
I think we should trust the lemon.
Okay. So, trusting the lemon, you reach down and hidden underneath and carefully push aside the gold-painted spaniel statue, beneath which is a small hidden hatch. Pulling it open, there is a narrow little ladder space that leads down into a concealed icy corridor.
Fun.
Useful.
Yes. Don't know if you want to. I should probably go down. Could the last person get the hatch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You slip down. Celestia, it's a bit of a squeeze for you.
Yeah. I'll go last.
I write a very quick note to go on top of the hatch, which is, "Don't worry, they've not killed me." Just so it's not
My
like,
favourite
oh
note
no.
to receive. Don't worry, they've not killed me.
What have the strangers done with Bill?
Leave that
But
on
it's
the
just
No,
like,
fair actually. Yeah.
if you're worried about me, you don't need to, Bill.
All right, so you clamber down, so you go last, you close the hatch behind. It is dim down here. It's not exactly dark, but the light that filters through the thick walls of the iceberg is very dim. It's very diffuse. You can barely make out Corzin at least, you can barely make out the edges of the corridor without some sort of light. Gnomes have dark vision, I believe?
Vision.
Yeah.
So, those of you with dark vision, however, have a bit more perspective. You see, carved into this iceberg are wide, open corridors, of which this is one via your handy little entryway, about 20 feet on a side. And as you proceed forwards through initially fairly spartan corridors, you come to, hidden beneath the village, a wide open chamber in which there are stacked tons and tons of air-dried meat and fish. Proceeding beyond this, though, you can see there is another set of corridors where they start to spread out. This is the furthest you have been, Bill. You've never gone beyond the larder before. But looking ahead, you can see that the walls are unexpectedly carved with a beautiful series of reliefs depicting various scenes. Many of the scenes do depict a dragon hunting, fighting, or performing various other inspiring sort of deeds. But a number also depict various humanoid figures, engaged in various tasks or with fantastical scenes, such as castles floating in the sky, trees the size of mountains, and strange beasts like unicorns and some sort of giant floating eye. The tunnels...
Giant floating eye.
Giant floating eye.
Giant floating eye.
Is this familiar?
Roll a nature check.
Yeah.
Can anyone?
Oh, it's rubbish.
It's like Celestia might be the only one who does
It's
know.
a 9.
You'd never heard of that. Giant
Okay.
floating eye. Weird sort of made-up creature. So...
You know, there probably fucking drow fairy tales in this.
There are a series of corridors up ahead. They're a little bit labyrinthine. You're proceeding stealthily, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, Corzin, you're kind of having to follow the others unless you have some sort of light source down here. Do you produce a light source? Do any of you produce a light source? Or do you going to continue
a bad idea.
Yeah, would it be bad to light this?
I've not actually gone this far before.
Okay, maybe not. Let's not.
Sorry, Corzin.
You kind of have to hang on to Celestia's character.
Yeah.
Can I have a stealth check from everyone, please?
24.
Practically non-awful. 17.
21.
12.
Yay!
Side to side, bubbling along.
I feel like we're all creeping. I'm just happily like.
You move through much more carefully this time. As you kind of having to work your way down, you come to a couple of dead ends, have to trace back. And at one point, in one of those dead ends, you press to the side as you hear the sound of skittering sort of feet. And you watch as a little light approaches, and a group of about 6 little scaly humanoid figures, kobolds, with bright silvery scales, approach. They've got a little oil lantern providing some light as they move by. They appear to be carrying sacks of meat and fish which they've collected from the larder, and they're wearing sealskin clothes similar to those above, edged with dark blue decorative stitching. They march on past. They don't seem to notice you. You continue on, and you continue going until you find an unusual doorway. This one has a curtain. It's like a little 5 foot, like 8 foot high, 5 foot wide door, and it's got a little privacy curtain which appears to have been cut from sailcloth, supported on a little bit of wooden pole wedged into holes at the top of the doorway.
Should we knock? How do you knock on a curtain? Knock on the wall.
Or should we be trying to creep in? I don't know. We have to talk to a person. That'd be weird. Maybe we should knock.
What is your passive perception?
Hi, passive perception.
I'm not.
Regardless,
Okay, never mind.
There is
$15.
a gentle tapping on the ice outside your room.
Look, I told you, blasted idiots, I don't want... Ah! Curtain is aggressively pulled aside. What?
What do they see?
Hello.
You see a humanoid turtle.
We've not met any of these yet in this
A
game.
6.5 foot tall, very broad turtle. Your first thought is probably some kind of militant combat type. Nope. The wizard robe that they wear, they've torn the arms off because their massive arms don't fit. It's like a little jerkin, basically, and it's sort of like awkwardly crammed. The shell has torn through at the back.
This beautiful silk, like Haldanic style robe
Absolutely
as well.
gorgeous. And they have a wizard's hat perched jauntily on top of their head.
Okay.
Who the devil are you?
I've got a magic hat. I have a magic hat. I left it on the boat.
That's nice, pink child, but
This is Celestia Stardust.
Hello,
This
nice
is
to
Scamp.
meet you.
This is Corzin
Wow.
Horhace, and my name's
Oh,
Napoleonic,
wow.
Ella, Lily, Ula, Ala, but Bill for short.
Bill. You don't fit in with this bunch.
Really?
Oh, we're
Yeah.
not from round here.
That makes more sense.
Yes.
No, you look like a local. Dress like one.
Well, I am.
Excellent. Hang on. Dragon, is Uri nearby? Is it one of those like, oh god?
You know where Orthtor's chamber is, but you know that the kobolds and some of the other inhabitants do sometimes come down these corridors, and you are right in the middle of the corridor.
All right, just come.
You pull.
Step inside.
What's your name?
Oh, sorry. Xerox. Hello, Xerox.
Hello.
Xerox spellcatcher. Hello.
Wow,
Big
that's handsome.
handshakes.
Okay.
Also big clawed three-pronged hands.
You're very big.
Thank you.
You're very big. I
in.
don't meet many people taller than me. Really fun.
Just behind Curtin, you find a small, if comparatively well-appointed room.
I'm guessing you're quite far away from home.
Oh, yes. Long. How much time have you got? Well, we've got all the time in the world, haven't we? Sit.
No,
please.
but we need to leave.
Oh.
cut almost as like a simple cube from the ice. The walls have been smooth, but they haven't been decorated like the exterior corridors. But sections of the walls have been recessed to provide a little desk, a block of ice to serve as a chair, several shelves of thick ice, and even a long flat shelf of ice to serve as a bed. The chair and the bed blocks have been covered with several seal skins to provide insulation. The desk has a number of neatly arranged writing implements, some stacks of seal skins stretched into crude parchment, filled with notes in a script that none of you recognise because you do not read Eastern Haldanic. The shelves are filled with books, some of them relatively recent in their binding, others looking practically ancient, and the chamber is lit by a small oil lamp on the desk.
So we're stuck.
Yeah.
Our
Stuck
ship's
what?
Stuck.
Oh,
I got stuck.
Ship people, right?
Yes,
that
yes.
makes sense. Storm caught you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
How do we
Pirates
get out?
stuck.
Well, that's a pickle, isn't it?
Quite.
So, what do you want?
A way out?
Preferably.
Right, that's
Yeah.
going
We'd
to.
love for the storm to stop for a little bit so that we could sail away.
Okay. Big question. Start us all off. How are you with like the killing and the maiming and the fighting and all of that? How?
Surprisingly good.
Not
Yeah.
bad, actually.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right.
1, 2.
He just gestures broadly to all the weapons.
Ooh.
Have you ever fought?
Stout little fellow, aren't you?
Quite so.
Well, sorry, when you say the killing and the maiming and the fighting and stuff, do you mean the killing and the maiming and the fighting against the people that I live with who I consider my family?
Oh. You mean the people with the outfit and the people that you're with?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Look,
That's a
Look.
very good question, yeah.
I'm
I
going
wasn't
to
quite sure.
level with you. I've been trapped here for quite some time, and it is fucking tedious. So, if
We've
you
been in
have...
this little cave for ages.
Well, no, I get to go out a little bit and wander around and talk to Yuri, and that's all lovely.
Come on our boat if you like.
Do you want
See,
to
this is what I'm thinking.
Who's Yuri?
Yuri, the dragon. Yuri.
You call the dragon Yuri.
I think you'll find that they prefer to be called Yuri.
They really don't.
So,
This person's coming.
so you and the massive dragon that's terrorising the town are mates
Yes.
and have pet names.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Can you ask them to stop? Just
No.
Okay.
Bit of
No.
bastard, really, isn't it? Unlikely to do things that you ask
Okay.
for. But,
Right.
if you're...
Could you ask for them to keep doing it, and then if they don't do things you ask for, then they'll stop?
Cunning.
Interesting.
Clever.
Very wise,
I
very
like
wise. Unfortunately, they want to keep doing it. And I can't really tell them what to do. I can just tell them how to do things cleverly, you see.
Can you get them to stop the storm for a little bit?
No, but if you're all good at the killing and the maiming things, then perhaps together we can sort this mess out once and for all. Because I've been here a bit long and I can't do it on my own. I've been planning, got ideas, got thoughts. Got a battle strategy, if you will. But unfortunately, Yuri's a big, mean bastard, and I can't do it on my own. So if this stout little fella with all the guns and this pink child, I don't really understand, but it's grand, and, well, you...
All of this.
All of this. If you, and you presumably also, swingy, swedgy sort of type.
Swingy, swedgy sort of type?
Yes, quite.
I have things I can do.
Well, that's fine. Good.
I don't know what swingy swedgy means, I'll be honest.
I'm guessing you're one with all the magic-y and the swingy and the, you know...
Oh, yes, I've got my fish friends.
Great. I think all of that together, I reckon we...
have fish friends.
Only Corzin and Celestia, you can see that some of the fishy type spirits have followed after.
I feel like a rainbow spirit's going over to them. Sort of like bothering them.
Take the hat a little bit and sort of wedge it down a little bit tighter. There's a faint sort of... Like, the hat is not made for the head of my son. Not even close.
Creak of fabric ripping.
Yeah, creak of fabric a little bit. And it's got lots of tiny little... Like, this doesn't fit. So... I'm a bit of a specialist in the old blowing up stuff. But I seem to
like to blow things up.
Well, it's all the magic that does all the big booms, you see. That's what I trained in. I was interested in this, the age of, what's it called now? Checking my notes.
All drop prior to this.
Thank you. The age of Titans. I'm very interested in all the big battles and the fighting. But unfortunately, when I turned up here, Yuri had a collection of books, you see, and not so good with the reading or the magic, and said, teach me how to do the magic and help me with the reading, or I will freeze you to death. And I thought, well, that's not a bad offer, considering that I was right to do all these things.
Nobody likes being frozen to death.
Correct,
I suppose
quite.
you had a lot of time on your hands, so fuck it, really.
So what it's now turned into, basically, is every now and again we have a little reading club, and it's trying to learn magic, but I think it's too short blanks, if you know what I mean. So it's very difficult to get into learning magic, but...
So it's a stupid dragon.
That's not the brightest. Very aggressive.
Magic's easy.
Yes, very aggressive.
So if we could, get the jump, I've been looking for some people to help me, really bring this on. The kobolds are too dumb and too scary, and the trolls have this sort of, horrible attitude problem that I'm not a big fan of, honestly. But if all of us could work together, perhaps we could, finally get me out of this fucking mess. And if there's a boat, well, is helping you leave worth the passage? I presume.
Fuck yes.
Captain, there's a slight, almost flirty vibe.
All right. That would be correct, yes.
Splendid. Oh, I'm pleased. Good. Marvellous.
So you and Scamp are giving each other looks.
Actually,
They are easily 2.5 times your size.
Inside. No.
Corzin does not realise it's being flirted with at all.
Just no idea.
You could do with a strong pair of arms, maybe?
Well, we need a lot of hands. All the hands we can get. Really.
Do you? Big pair of hands, are we?
Oh no.
I feel like we've noticed and we're just staring at them.
But Bill definitely has
So a pair of strong arms, they're good. I can do that, yeah. Good with the arms.
Excellent. Right, well.
Take that. Flex the arm next to you.
Zero, you do know that any ship will will have trouble leaving while the storm is in effect.
Oh, I know. I'm not worried about
Yes. Okay, I'm just checking how much you're keeping to your chest. That's all.
Once Yuri's done with it, I can handle the rest of it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So,
We go.
What
We have
is
to
the
fight the
plan?
dragon?
Yes, we have. So if you come with me, I'm not the. Look, my presence here, not a problem. Yuri knows I'm here, no biggie. If your presence here is found, big problem. So my proposal is that I'll go ahead. You follow behind in a kind of surreptitious, sneaky sort of way, and then I'll get his attention. And 1, 2, 3, Bob's your uncle. Boom. Get rid of the fuckwit.
This sounds like a well thought out plan with many steps.
That's how I roll. Oh, this cunning. Oh, the cunning thing. I'm sorry about that. I tried to get a name to stick. They heard the cunning shell, and it's just stuck forever.
Can I insight this, see if we're going to get betrayed by this?
Make an insight check.
I'll be honest.
Make either a deception or a persuasion check.
Cool.
That's 15.
You do not need to tell me which. Just the appropriate one.
15.
That is also a 15.
Oh,
Defender advantage.
Oh, wait. Can I bend?
I guess you can bend fate. Yeah. that's the-
-2 from your roll.
Okay.
Okay. Are you intending?
What was the question again?
Did I get the feeling that you're
Betray us.
intending to betray them?
are you taking us to the dragon for lunch?
I am not intending to betray you.
Okay.
You get a
I
feeling-
may have other things that I want to do. I may have an agenda that I'm
Yeah,
not
you get
sharing
the feeling
fully.
that there is an agenda here, but that treachery is not part of it.
Okay.
In your time here, have you managed to figure out if this thing has any specific weaknesses? Is it particularly vain? You say it's stupid, but...
Oh, well, number one, dumb as a box of rocks. So, if we can in some way, I mean, I'll probably do most of the talking, but if we can in some way make him think, it is him, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. If we can make him think there's a problem over there and distract him, he might get the jump,
Oh,
so
I
to
can
speak.
make pretty pictures.
Brilliant, this is a
I
good
can
answer.
make
Very
really
nice.
big pretty pictures.
Well, of
that
course you
move
can. Look
really
at you.
convincingly.
You're pretty pretty yourself, aren't you? More flirting.
Thank you. Thank you. So you're kind of like...
And that also incredibly handy. This is all of these things together. I reckon we can sort of spin a little yarn, get him more confused and unsure of what's going on, and then hit him real hard. I mean, I really can't stress enough. I know that you'd think the wizard cloak, the wizard hat, probably some kind of mystic arcane. I'm not all for that nonsense. Blow shit up. That's me.
Right.
Excellent, man. That's
It's honestly refreshingly straightforward.
Not a man,
Enjoying
but
it.
thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Quite all right.
You're very different to how I imagined you.
Am I?
Yes.
I get that
when
quite a
everyone
lot.
said cunning shell, I was imagining like a clever egg.
Well, you see, number one, the shell. Tonk tonk. There's a shell on my back, and it is like little cracks
Oh
in it
no,
all
I
over the
see.
place.
Yes, I see now.
And cunning. Well, you only have to hear me talk to know how cunning I am.
Yeah.
And again, Flirty looks at the both of you now.
You seem cunning.
I am very.
This so, kind of like gets a bit like shifty around, slightly awkward.
As you, all right then. So you're going to prepare. You're preparing for your cunning stuff.
It's not smooth.
Right then. So Zurich, you're preparing for your cunning stunt. So you.
That's where it comes from.
so you.
I like how we're saying cunning. We're essentially all going to stand behind you and throw stuff at you.
I would like a stealth check from everyone except
I have
Zurich.
a question before we leave. I have a question. I can do an illusion that's 20 feet big. Would it be better to try and scare it or make it think there's food?
I would put food like far, far away from you.
What
like, let's
creatures-
put food like combat strategy, pincer movement. What we need is some food in like over there, and if Yuri's over there and we're over there, we're three sides of a triangle. Yes. So what we need to do is make sure that the side of the triangle that he's going to and is therefore distracted is not far enough away from us that like people with certain ranges on things are going to struggle with, like you and all your cannonade. How's that going to go? What kind of range you got on that?
Well, the carbine about 200 feet.
That's a bit out of me as well. Grief.
Zero, you would know that the central portion of the portion where Rothdor sleeps of the lair is about 240 feet long at its longest point, about 60 foot wide, but there is a lot of fog down there as well from the cold. It's hard to see more than about 60 foot in any direction.
Right, well, the fog makes it difficult to see. I'm not going to think for dispelling fog. I mean, I can try and... It's not magic, I can't dispel
They
it.
can do farts.
It's literally just cold.
I can make really big farts. They can cast farts.
Roll,
Brilliant!
roll a nature check.
A nature check.
It's a really big spell.
It's a spell called Sustained Wind and the component is beams. It's farts.
That is 12.
12. Not necessarily enough to put together. What I will say is that you do know that the fog is just as... The fog is a result of the unnatural cold, but it's not produced magically. It just happens because it's so cold.
Well, then there's a good first plan of attack. Can you use your... farts? Yes, good.
Yeah.
Fine with that. Can you use that to dispel some of the area so we can see better and strike from further? And then maybe some good old shots from that massive cannon of yours. Yes, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait.
All right then. So,
Been waiting for this for
I
years.
have another question. What kinds of creatures do you get on ice? I don't actually know. I'm not from around here.
Oh, well,
What
there's...
they usually be? What can I make as an illusion?
Something like woolly mammoths, maybe?
What's that?
Alright,
Hang on, you're from the Underdark.
Yeah, the down below
The down below bit, splendid. Skittering big old, trying to make a centipede that's got a kind of a triangular face.
That sounds perfect.
I've seen them and they're marvellous.
Yes,
and he'll definitely see that as a threat. They're quite, they don't like each other very much.
Send people with a triangle face will
I'm
do
all right
this.
describing Remraz,
You will, whether you will get something that looks like a Remraz from that description is going to be very interesting.
Close enough, and Yuri's a fucking idiot. I don't care.
I know what a centipede is.
Yeah.
So
Really big
we
one.
definitely have those.
Yeah, really big one.
Brilliant, I'll do that. Perfect.
Your kind of mind, you're weirdly finding your mind drifting towards like the worms, or the worm train
worm
worms,
trains,
which are quite centipede-like. So, all right, in the interest of time, because we're already over clock, you head down. Can I have a stealth check from everyone except Zero? Zero, can I have a deception check?
I think we've got the advantage from my cloak. 23.
17.
That one out.
12.
23.
12.
Cool. You continue moving on quickly down. You pass at one point, and you kind of have to slip past quickly a small chamber in which there are 3 huge creatures. Unlike the one that you met, the 3 of you met previously in the swamp, the humanoids in question have dark blue skin, long noses, overly long limbs, but their white hair is neatly combed and braided back. They're wearing well-made clothes, boots of sealskin lined with blue cotton, and the 3 of them are all quietly working, chipping away at ice sculptures with fine metal tools.
Really?
The chamber is just filled with works of art, except for a central block of ice, which is piled with meat and fish, which they are periodically reaching and just eating some of.
I do feel like we shouldn't be allowed near any of the ice sculptures. I've just got visions of us smashing everything to ribbons by accident.
Bringing them to life.
Would be fun.
Do you continue on towards Rothdor's chamber?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You continue on and down and down. And it's about a little bit away, you reach a long cavern, hollowed from the ice. You'd guess, 60 feet or so in width, an unknown distance and length. The ceiling, you'd say, might be 40 feet or so above the lowest parts of the chamber. It's kind of hard to discern, though, where those are, because rolling banks of icy fog fill the chamber, obscuring the floor, making it hard to see more than, again, 60 foot in any direction. The chamber looks as though perhaps some natural fissure was carved out by powerful claws in a rough fashion. However, the nearer part of the chamber has been smoothed and levelled by skilled hands, the walls carved with artistry in the same fashion as the rest of the tunnels, and as the cavern stretches on, though, the cave transitions from those neat carvings into the crude, clawed form. It is cold here, colder than it was in the relatively insulated tunnels, as cold as the howling winds outside. The droning, which has never stopped, thrums, more resonant here, but strangely no louder, and it seems to come from every surface of ice. Ice, salt, and the old must of reptile fills the air. You know, Xerok, you stride forwards towards the edge. Just checking my notes here. Okay.
Yuri!
Yuri! Call out? Okay. Calling out to awaken. You hear the sounds of...
Yeah, perfect.
You hear the sounds of stirring from the distance. A grumpy voice calls.
Is it time already?
Yep, yeah, it's good to have a chat.
Approach.
Alrighty.
You step forward into the fog, the rest of you creeping behind. As you approach the far end of the chamber, you are caught. There's. Have you brought any light with you? Because
dancing lights.
You brought your dancing lights to illuminate you. Go. What colour are they?
A sort of lovely mixture of mauve, light, yellow, very sort of party atmosphere.
Party atmosphere light around you. You're at the far end of the chamber. You are caught by an impressive glimmering sight. A thick shelf of ice protrudes some 20 feet from the base of the cavern upwards, worn smooth by frequent use. At the base of the shelf is a large pool of icy water, sharp with the tang of salt, yet the shelf and all the walls around and over it shine with a brilliant gleaming, for sealed within every surface is wealth. Thousands of gleaming gold and silver coins, gemstones and objets d'art are imprisoned within the ice. the dragon's frustratingly unreachable hoard. Yet the coins and jewels are not merely haphazardly thrown into the wall. They've been laboriously arranged in pleasing patterns, spirals, diamonds, other geometric shapes for aesthetic effect. It's like kind of like the arabesques you classically find in like a mosque or something. There are 3 items serving as the centerpiece of the collection, sealed in the ice above the shelf. The first is a beautiful sealed vase of swirled green jade, sculpted with images of palatial gardens, flying cranes, and peaceful scenes faintly visible through the ice. The second is a brilliant cut black sapphire, the size of a quail's egg, carefully positioned to catch the light. The third is a curled horn of burnished bronze, around which is carved the image of a winged serpent, mouth open in song. The mouth of the horn is exposed to the air, producing a clear, droning sound that echoes through the ice. Coiled in front of this, on the ledge, there is a, again, towering creature, 12 feet tall. I think I might change that.
That's awesome. Jazzy Dragon.
12 feet tall at the withers as it raises itself up on its forelimbs, twice as long in the body, excluding his sinuous neck and tail. Gleaming white scales cover his form, from the thick, snow-white plates of armour about his neck, shoulders, chest, spine, crest and tail, to the pearlescent fine scales that line his more flexible joints. A single horn of bleached white bone spears up and back from the crest of his skull, matching the thick pale claws in his fore and rear limbs. He has 6 limbs total, for between his legs and stretching backwards are wide, muscular wings, almost reminiscent of a bird's rather than a bat. But in place of feathers are long, translucent, fine white scales, shimmering with that same pearlescent hue. His skull is more lizard-like, even similar to a bird's, with a sharp, scaly beak around a jagged rows of teeth. But his face, as he speaks, moves in an uncannily humanoid fashion, with expressive scaled eyebrows and lips capable of the wide wry smirk that frames his slitted blue eyes.
So, Zerok, is it time already for our lesson?
Well, we've got a couple of choices today. We could try again with the magic, see how it goes, or I found this delightful book of after-dinner reading from my world, and I thought you might enjoy some of the choice delicacies I found in there.
Make a persuasion check.
19.
I'm going to roll an insight check.
Boom.
What sort of dishes are you talking about?
Well, there is a very long diatribe about the nature of warfare in the face of trying to fight your way, on the one hand, through a raging storm, and on the other hand, through a landscape pitted and marked with swamps and that sort of thing. And it's a treatise on which is easier and which is harder. I thought you might appreciate that.
Oh, I thought you meant food.
Well, there's also recipes in there. I can talk to you through some of them.
Yes, teach me of battles and recipes.
Battles and recipes.
and then later, some of the magic. I've been working. You see him twist his claws, and a firebolt blasts out into the mist, temporarily disperses some of the mist around where it shoots.
That's well done. Doing so well.
Yes,
May I?
Yes, of course.
Shoot a firebolt as well.
Yes.
And behind just waving a hand while distracting him with the firebolt.
Arorthator seems pretty thoroughly amused by and distracted by the situation. So the four of you even, are, I'm going to say, currently about 60 feet away, because you are in the mists at this point. You can kind of quietly whisper to each other. Arorthator does not seem to have noticed you.
I've given you the let's go gesture, that's what that was.
So what do you guys want to do?
I would like to do a major image, please. I've got 120 feet of range, and I'd like it in the other direction to where we are, preferably.
Okay, so you are
Three sides of a triangle.
Yes, exactly. The
so you
triangle
guys,
plan.
okay, so you guys want to move off to. So you guys are off to one side of this chamber. So you pull off against, we'll say, the left-hand wall.
A parabola of mystery.
Not too close together, please.
Yeah, we're spreading out.
How much space do you want to put between each other? Because you're all up against the wall, so I'm making a note of this.
I don't know.
I'll say 10 feet between you then.
Yeah, not that works.
Okay, so there's 10 feet between you, Corzin, Celestia, Scamp, and Bill. Because you're all lined up against the wall, who wants to be closest to the dragon?
How close do I need to be to do a spell?
You can
on the other side.
On the other side of this imaginary thing,
yeah.
like again 60 feet away, like anywhere.
Cool.
Corzin's going to be the hardest to see.
Okay, Corzin, you off
Smallest.
first then. Then we'll say, who wants to go next after Corzin?
Bill will just get put wherever you put her.
Bill, you are going
she's
next.
a little bit freaked out seeing the dragon for the first time in a while.
Corzin, Bill, Celestia, Scamp.
Cool, lovely.
Right, okay, so with Zero in the middle and the dragon up ahead. So, okay, what do you conjure? You attempt to conjure this centipede.
I mean, so that you two kind of know what the magic looks like because the listeners do, but you don't. I kind of get the rainbow spirit together and it sort of compresses down and sort of control it like a paintbrush and draw in my hand and this little tiny, centipede with a triangle face. A purple one because I like purple and nobody told me what colour to make it.
Purple is perfect.
And the tiny one appears and I just sort of go and it goes across the chamber and it appears
roll
big.
me a performance check for artistry.
Okay. Oh, that's really good. That is a 32.
Jesus!
It's really good.
So here's the thing. You weren't really expecting this, but there is shared ancestry between the purple worm style worms of the Underdark and Remorazes. So something which looks actually very like a Remoraz.
Considering I've never seen one.
Down to the hundreds of scaly feet, the purple, albeit a bright purple with a triangular shape that looks very similar.
There is a nod of respect, like, nice.
Double thumbs up back.
No, I don't do anything.
As Orothator suddenly...
Oh no! What's that?
And you see Orothator inhale and... So, I guess this is an initiative of sorts happening. As this is happening, so...
oh no!
Yes!
Oh no!
Okay.
Natural 1, but lucky.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Natural 1 for Scamp.
15.
15 for Corzin.
16 for me.
16.
Nice.
Okay. And Bill.
Natural 1.
Natural 1 for Bill.
This
Bill,
side
what's
of the table's all
Bill,
one.
what's your dexterity?
+1.
Okay,
plus 2.
Scamp goes before you. And Orothator did not roll fantastically.
Do I get a sustained win before?
You do. I'll say that you and Orothator both kind of act on that weird surprise round. So at the same moment, Orothator exhales as he does so, this terrible blast of just wintry air comes out of his mouth, spraying across the illusory Remoraz. He does not angle it to... he does take the care not to immediately refrigerate his personal tutor, Zero, so you are not caught in the cold as he expends it and does a certain amount of damage to nothing.
Has he moved from his pedestal?
Not yet. His first movement was just to pause and from the pedestal, but he will act on his turn.
Plausibly, could I make that centipede dodge out of the way?
Yes, you actually have. You are able to move it at will. So
I'd like it to look like it's missed.
Okay, the centipede rolls at the side.
Using stuff.
That's really cool.
Okay, yeah. So you roll out to say, and the creature rears up Okay, so top of the round is actually Xerox.
Splendid.
Does the wind has a
Oh,
save?
sorry. Yes, the wind has a.
Because creatures get pushed away.
This is
from
true.
it.
So you.
it clears the mist.
Where are you angling? it?
Hitting the dragon.
Yeah, you're going for the dragon. Okay, so everything between you and the dragon, the mist immediately clears. So you are all. Frankly, you were using the mist to hide in.
Yeah,
So
but
kind of
you said to
revealed.
my
Yeah. So this uses. Sorry, I'm just trying to think because it uses the base same as the gust of wind.
It's a strength save.
Yeah, strength save. Okay, so that means that is.
I mean, it's a
the
dragon. It'll be fine.
Natural fucking 1. So Rothor is smacked backwards
25 feet
into the
away.
golden. 50 feet away into the back of this ice wall. Scamp, just roll me 3d8, would you?
You just made a dragon fall over.
This is really making my
It looked quite bad. You just walked in, farted,
19. Okay.
like
As the dragon smacks backwards, he kind of is forced backwards, recovers a little, and you notice the ice around that horn is partly cracked. So the horn is now slightly more exposed than before.
Is it the horn that's making? Do I
The
think
sound
the
will
horn might be
continue
the thing making the
increase.
storm?
You can hear it coming from the horn.
But do I think that that's causing the storm?
Roll an intelligence check. Actually, no.
How-
If you think it is, then you think it is.
How many of the rest of us see this? Like, do you need checks for that? or
No,
do we
you
all
can
see it?
all. This is all pretty visible. So that's as that is happening. So Rothor has been smacked back into the top of into the thing, and is currently, I guess, being pressed against it by this blast.
Is a Rothor blocking my view of the horn?
You can kind of just see it over his scales.
Gotcha.
I will say. Okay, so Xerox, you're up first. There is just this constant gale coming out from Scamp's chest.
Wow. Oh no, intruders! Don't worry, I'll protect you, Lord! And I'd like to summon an arcane hand.
Okay.
I'd like to summon it between. It's interposing. So, does it provide Rothor with half cover? Is he that big?
I'd say it does, yeah.
Cool. Can I position it so it's not interposing at all, but it looks like it is?
Yes.
So the hand appears, and it's a big turtle hand, so it's three fingers all shelled, and it just appears in the air in front of him, and is like doing a shit job.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Perfectly protecting him from the Remoras.
Perfect. Yes, thank you. Good. Yes. And it's floating quite close to the wall and quite close to him, but it's just there. And that's my bonus action.
I think it's your action to cast it the first time.
It is my action the first time. That is correct. Yes. Thank you. So it is cast and bonus actions I can use later. And I'll just sort of hold it there and sort of look at Rothor and go, "We've got this."
Yeah. So you are. I'm going to say you are like 40. You're like 40 feet from a Rothor. So you're like 10 feet from the edge of the ledge.
Fine.
So you're all looking down. You can just about.
How high up is the ledge?
The ledge is 20 feet at its highest point.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your go, Celestia.
Oh, goddamn, I've got something that's concentration up, haven't I?
And I think I'm going to transition.
Has the dragon quite clearly seen us at this point?
Yeah. The mist is all gone.
Has it seen through the illusion?
This is a good point. It has now interacted with it, so I'll roll an intelligence check, I think.
Yeah, it still did miss, but yeah.
No, it appears to believe there are 2 sets of enemies.
Cool.
Great.
Look, my lord, it appears we have allies. Quick, help us with this horrible thing!
Oh my god.
Did you say it appears we have allies? Okay, roll a deception check with disadvantage.
The dragon has met me.
Fucking
I just did it with wind.
This is very much a shoot first, ask questions later kind of character.
Yeah, fair.
Or even on disadvantage, that is a 16.
There's a moment of hesitation, as not so much as if Rothor believes you, but as to whether these are the more serious threat or the Remoras is.
I'm good with that.
Might be about to destroy that idea as to which is more serious. This is a fucking dragon, isn't it? I think I'm just going to go for it, really, at this point. So I'm going to run forward by 30 feet.
Yep.
I'm going to take the electric guitar off my back, raise it over my head, and basically the rainbow spirit comes up like a whip. I smack it down onto the floor and do a destructive wave, so rainbow cracks
fucking roll.
come out across the floor. all towards the dragon, basically.
That's so cool.
Okay, 24 for its save.
Oh, shit. Well, it's still decent
takes off.
damage.
Still a level 5
Shit.
spell.
Do I want radiant or necrotic? I'm gonna go necrotic.
Okay.
Necrotic.
Okay. There is a sort of
There
is a
spell.
devouring
Hard to
edge to
grate.
the rainbow lightning this time.
Do you need more d6s?
No, I'm alright actually. I need sort of 2 lots of 5, so we're good. Not amazing. So 2. Thank you. So, how maths? 5, 10, 13 necrotic.
Okay, 13 necrotic.
Probably half. Oh god, these are bad. So 5, 7, oh god, and 11 thunder.
Okay,
Also
so
fucking loud.
24 total, so 12 points of damage. Cool.
Yeah, it goes off with the noise like wow, like a big old electric guitar noise.
Orothator flicks, adjusting, but there is adjusting his pose, so only a couple of the lances of lightning pass through. But where they do leave holes in the flesh, which begin to bleed with satisfyingly red blood. Okay.
I can't do that again. Oh, and for my bonus action, I would like to turn around with the guitar over my shoulder like a baseball bat, give you all a wink, and a flash of rainbow comes out of the big white Drowfro, and you will get 5 temporary hit points, and you can move.
Okay.
Yeah, you can move. Oh no, it's moved up. You get 11 temporary hit points. I'm sorry.
Excellent.
And you can all move without provoking any attacks if you want to, but you don't have to.
Corzin will-
Up to you.
Awesome.
I am good where I am.
That makes it. So going to move straight on, because that's everything. Corzin.
Okay, Corzin is going to use the movement he gets from that, and then use more movement to get up fairly close to the dragon. He is going to.
Yeah, dragon is currently on a ledge, 20 foot up.
Okay, great. He is going to lower his blunderbuss and cast lightning shot.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll do it.
This. It's cool.
Yes.
So you're not with it. You can't. You could. Dragon is pressed up against things. Yeah, I'd say you could just at the edge of the bottom of the ledge. You can just see the dragon enough to fire that and
Okay.
still be within short range. Go for it.
All right. So that's... Okay, that's 25.
Yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
Right.
As you loose the blunderbuss, it's like a little bolt of lightning.
I'll roll the mundane damage first.
Yes.
Okay, that's 12.
Okay.
And I believe it's D6s for...
Yep.
Right, fine. So it's 4 of those. Okay. A further 11 lightning.
Nice.
Okay. So you, as the shot strikes, you see Orothator pull a wing forward to take the most of the blast, but which kind of scatters some of the glistening scales. You have, I'm going to say, the pair of you have attracted his attention now.
Okay.
These two.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I did
So-
throw a fucking rainbow at him and all.
Yeah.
And the lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Okay, so it takes.
Does it affect objects, your destructive wave?
I mean, it must because it did the iceberg.
So
We hit the
yeah,
wall.
you would have hit the wall. So
Is that all? Is that?
yeah, no, it's
feasible?
fine. You would have done. So you did 24. It was 24 damage.
24
wasn't it?
total, yeah.
Yeah. So he's already with the damage is okay. I want you to roll me a luck check.
Fair. I wasn't aiming for it, so luck is good. 11.
Okay. You do not hit the horn. But you
welded.
do shatter the ice around it, and that is enough for the horn to come loose. And
Is it still on the
to ground. It's still going. It's still on the shelf, but it's now no longer stuck in the wall.
Great.
I will say that's not high enough to free either of the two treasure pieces either side, though. So you do blast that. Yeah, you did blast that free. Orothator, meanwhile,
Here we
is-
go.
Yeah, so
Excuse his ice breath. Fingers
can't
crossed.
fly against this. Can drag himself 20 feet forwards, though, to the edge of the ice, which means that he's now directly above Corzin and Celestia.
How
Essentially,
high up is he again?
he's 20 foot up. Above.
20 foot up. Okay.
So because of his, because he himself can stretch forwards with his reach, he is able to jump down essentially for an attack.
Awesome.
So he's currently on a ledge.
Yep, 20 feet above you. He's going to jump down off
brain
the
stopped,
ledge.
I'm sorry.
My interposing hand means he's going to struggle to get through that space.
Oh, the interposing hand also blocks that. Okay,
it
in
does.
which case,
Nice.
he can't get much
It's a contested
further.
strength.
Yeah,
Can't
contested
move
strength.
through if its a strength score is less than or equal to the hand. What's his strength score?
22.
No, hand score 26. Can't get through.
Oh yeah.
So Roltor is suddenly blocked by it.
Little hand.
I'm going to roll an intelligence check for Roltor. Okay, Roltor did not roll a high enough intelligence check to realise the betrayal yet.
Yes!
Dumb dragon. Dumb
I
dragon.
mean, you did say it was fucking dumb. Like,
He is okay. 15-foot reach though.
Yep.
He is
20
enough
foot up.
for a thing. 20 foot up. Yep, still 20 foot up. That said, is enough for him to turn his attention. So he can't get to the Remoraz. Can't get the Remoraz is gone actually. I think potentially. No, it's still up
No, it's concentration.
because you have
Yeah,
it's
so
not
I
concentration.
didn't do anything
Yeah,
concentration.
you didn't do
on purpose.
concentration.
Yeah.
So instead, he is going to inhale, and a weaker blast of cold, reduced because he expended most of it on the initial blast, comes out. I need everyone except Xerox to make a Constitution save,
Because you're his
please.
friend.
I'm everyone's friend.
22.
Natural 20.
16.
I've really not rolled well.
How
entire
much
game.
have you rolled?
I've rolled 3 20s. It's really worrying me. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, Corzin is the only one who fails that.
Okay.
So Corzin, you take 19 points of damage. Everyone else takes 9 points of damage.
So
of cold
is that
damage.
19 points if
Yes.
you failed.
19 if you fail.
I'm assuming a 7 is a fail.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was. I didn't hear that. I thought that was another 22. Yes,
sorry,
that does.
no.
That does. So 19 if you failed of cold damage. 9 if you didn't. And everyone except Xerox needs to make a Wisdom save.
Can I also use a reaction?
Yes, you can.
Could I cast Absorb Elements?
So you
Which
do.
will give me a little bit of something
Can I
later on.
try
Yes.
to chaos this wisdom save?
Is this
yes,
fear?
Sorry,
Is
this
this-
is fear.
Okay, I have advantage.
Oh!
18.
I
Okay.
think I might have
Make it.
advantage on this as well.
13.
Uh,
That's gonna make it.
you do not make it.
I'm not biased.
Yes!
Yes!
20.
Good.
Okay.
Tides is now active.
Rainbow
Yes, I know.
Nat
If you
20
would
as
like
well.
to
The best
ruin
one.
my day with
Corzin?
wild magic.
It's 15.
Okay. The three of you manage to, as the dragon roars, you hold your nerve. Celestia, you've never been up against a dragon before, and as it spreads its wings and lets forth this terrible gale of cold. Nope, that's it. That's your limit. You are now frightened. On your turn, you must flee it.
I feel like she kind of locks up, like she's just done this really cool thing, and she just looks up at the thing in front
Also,
of her.
Constitution save to maintain the Remoraz.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we're fine.
Cool.
It's still there.
All right, Remoraz is maintained. Moving quickly onwards. Scamp,
Okay,
as we're running over.
the horn, does it make the storm? I'm gonna shout.
Would Bill know? Would...
Don't worry, I'm on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and break it, just so you know.
Don't break! No, don't break it!
Okay, then I won't break it.
Kill the bloody dragon!
I guess I will cast. I don't know what I can do. I'm not good at damage that isn't like really big area. Oh fuck it! I'm doing a fireball.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Can I get it to hit some of the ice, but not the horn that's now on the floor? Like,
You can,
hit
yeah,
it
you can
high
angle
up,
it
so-
just high enough to do that.
Cool.
Go for it.
I will go for a level 4. Fuck it, fireball. So
Okay.
that is a save for the dragon.
Dex save fails.
Wow.
Jesus, this dragon is
Really rolling badly.
lovely.
Good.
So that is
Usually that
9.
gold dice fucks us over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gold dice.
I've
it rolls
dropped
20s
the dice,
like
it's
all the
done.
time.
It'll turn up. That is a 6. That is a 1. 7, 10, 19, 21, 31 fire damage.
Excellent.
The ice as well.
Excellent.
Okay, so the
excellent.
ice takes double damage.
Is it ice?
Yes. The dragon does take the full blast. I'm actually going to say legendary resistance. He's taking half. As he curls his wings in front of him, so he only takes 16 damage instead. Because what's the point of being a dragon if you can't use your legendary resistances?
Has anything else fallen out of the wall?
As the ice melts behind, a small shower of coins comes through, as well as the black sapphire. And roll me actually, no, also, it depends which. Roll me a luck check. Let's see which one of them comes out.
5.
The jade vase actually comes out on a 5. One below, one above. Just wanted to see which one it was.
Yeah, sure.
There's just enough still holding the black sapphire in space, although it is now exposed to the air.
Brilliant.
Okay, so
I'm going to move some
Orthotor
sorcerer points around.
is going to use a legendary
as a bonus.
action to claw himself forward against the wind,
Hand's still there.
descending to the bottom of the.
Is he going?
Oh, the hand's go. Yeah, he has to go around. He has to go around it. He goes around it, and then claws himself and
Sorry, Lord.
shoves himself around it. Ah, foolish turtle! I will devour your limbs for this.
I thought we were friends.
Oh, it's just in a nice way. And drops to the ground. Okay, he's now next to Corzin and Celestia, but does not attack on that action. Bill.
The few little fish
Yeah.
friends who are around me, I just take probably something out of my pocket. It's probably just something ground up, but I treat it like fish food. As like a little offering to them. And they swim, as it were, off. And it's like when you see a shard of light through the water, and it kind of picks up all the things. That's why I'm flavouring Moonbeam at 5th level on the dragon.
Nice.
So yes, this cylinder just crashes down on the dragon.
Radiant damage? Is it just radiant damage?
It is going to be the radiant damage. It needs to make a con saving throw.
Natural fucking 1!
Oh,
Legendary resistance.
Oh yeah, burn them up.
and when it enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn, or it starts its turn there, it will be engulfed in some stuff, and I can roll the damage.
Okay, so you manage to flavour them. You hit the Moonbeam, so it doesn't hit Corzin and Celestia, and just gets it. So it does take. Does it take half damage if it makes it save?
Half as much damage on a
Okay,
successful one.
roll damage then.
Is that alright? It normally does it on when its turn starts, but when it starts
when it starts its turn.
Space.
Okay, well I'll make a note of that then. It is Moonbeamed. In which case, I guess I will re-roll that when the time comes. But I mean, fuck it. We'll assume that was his roll because it's burnt its legendary resistance.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so it is currently Moonbeamed. Anything else from your turn?
No.
Okay.
Unless I know anything of what's causing the storm, I would.
You have not been down here, but you can make an Arcana check if you want.
I sure will. That is. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, everyone. 19.
Well, first of all, it's definitely the horn, but you can also see that there are kind of elements of the horn that are gently glowing in a specific way. You think there might be a way to operate the horn to either turn it off or even amp it up. You don't really know. This horn obviously is responsible for the storm and has some sort of tempest-related powers.
It's all about the horn!
I know!
Do we break it?
No!
You can use it!
Top of the round. At the end of your round, however, as using up his remaining 2 legendary actions for this round, Orthotor beats his wings, knocks both of Celestia and Corzin back. The pair of you both take 12 points of bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone by the blast. Orthotor pushes himself forward another 20 feet just over by the icy pool. Top of the round though, Xerox.
Can the hand sweep down and collect as much of the stuff and the horn as possible, ideally knocking, because it can grasp and things, can this grasp also collect the gem in the wall as well? Because it's all stuff from my fucking culture.
So give me an Arcana check to see about how well you can manipulate it.
How I can manipulate it, that's fine.
Yeah.
That is a 26.
Okay, you grasp all 3 treasures and a bunch of the coins. You bring it down to you.
It can move 60 feet. It's going towards the door.
You bring it down to you. You get a sense that you could, that if you bring it straight to you, you could manipulate the horn, though.
Okay, I bring it all down towards me. Would it be an action to manipulate the horn?
Yes. Arcana check and an action. Go for it.
10.
10.
I'm going to add a d4.
Add the d4.
Well, I think that was a
It was a 3.
It was a 3.
13. Roll a d100 Scamp. Focus on it. You think, and you press, and with the glowing sections start turn off. The dies off.
It's a unicorn.
And I hold the horn.
There's a moment where like it barely seems to be working, but something changes in the air around you. The horn dies down, and you look, and stepping out of the distant mist that still exists behind you is a gleaming white unicorn. The dragon looks at the Remoraz, the group, the unicorn. Fuck. To dive into the pool.
Bye.
Just swimming for life, deciding apparently, nope, that's it. That's his limit, not tangling with a unicorn.
We did it!
The unicorn turns to you, Scamp, inclines its head,
Thank you.
turns away, and descends into the mist.
Is that you again?
Gone
Yeah,
forever.
fantastic, lovely.
However, to speed these things up, you gather your things together, you rush out with the storm has vanished, the sky's clear. Bill, you turn to your people, you gather them together. Sooner or later, Rothator will return. But in the time in between, you gather together the boats that your people have hidden for years. You set sail, you flee. The rest of you run back to the ship.
Let's fly.
The guard, by this point,
you fly now.
fly
Yes.
with Scamp's magic, making it there with incredible speed, just as the yardom is being repaired, and with a gust of magical wind,
We should go.
Yes, let's leave.
the sails billow outwards.
Can I do one really quick thing
Yes.
as we're fleeing, and just Bill hoping that it's any part of the sky I can see.
Yes.
So I've got sky right, and I'm going to hope that these folks on their ship can see it. It just says in big cloud writing, I get 10 words. I've decided how it was to meet you. Very good.
Oh, that,
Awesome.
as you sail into the distance, and we'll discuss dividing treasure and so on later. Thank you all very much for playing.
Thank you for
Thank you all very much for listening. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.
On sheets of ice midst howling storm, through winds called by an eldritch horn.
A people snared by dragon's claw, call out for freedom from these shores.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken storm nor spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.